Welcome to Lynn Rose Crafts. I'm Tabitha with Lynn Rose, and I am going to go over the witch hat that I made earlier. This one's going to be slightly different. We need 3 spools of the dollar store mesh here, 1 roll of some ribbon, your witch's hat. They came in different colors. This one is purple. And then whatever kind of decorations you're going to need with with the pipe cleaners. To start this project off, we're going to have to do a little bit cleaning up off of the witch's hat on here because I don't want the boo to stay on here or the little buckle here. So we're just going to gently kind of take this off of here. It's just hot glued on there. Try not to cut the tinsel on there. If you have a little tiny pair of scissors, that tends to work best. Sometimes with the cardboard, if you get it wet, you can take it off that way as well, but they tend to stick it on there with that glue pretty well. So we just want to snip just on the back of this little buckle, trying not to get the tinsel off of the actual hat itself, because this is just a little plastic wreath underneath there, and we're just going to clean it up here and get that right off of there so that we can have a nice clean surface to work with on there. Sometimes it's a little hard. That's where the little scissors come in place though, because you can get just right underneath there to snip it off without cutting all your tinsel. There we go. I'm really just cutting the glue that's underneath there to get it from off of the surface. I'm not actually cutting a whole lot of the tinsel. And we're going to do the same here with the boo. You can, this one comes up a little bit easier sometimes. Take your scissors and kind of hold the tinsel down too so it doesn't pull. That makes it a little bit easier as well. This one's coming off really nice and easy. We're taking off minimal amount to that tinsel. There we have it. Now we have a nice clean witch's hat here. Now for the mesh here, I have 3 rolls of the dollar store gold one here. This one is pretty fine here. They do have the heavier mesh, but this one I made the other witch hat and I just loved how it turned out, so we're going to do that again. And I'm going to cut it here. These are about 6 inches, and I'm going to cut about 6 inches. And I'm going to cut every one of these 3 rows here of this fabric into that shape or that size. Okay, I've gone ahead and cut all 3 rolls of this beautiful gold leaf mesh here, and it gave me about 16, 17 pieces out of each one of those. That was about 3-foot roll for that. And now I'm going to come in with my ribbon here, and I'm going to cut also some ribbon here in about 6 inches in length here to go with that mesh. Okay, I've cut all of my ribbon here, and it is not going to produce as much of these, so if you prefer to have 2 rows of this ribbon so you can have it on every single bunch that we're going to make, that's fine. I'm choosing not to. Before I finished out the roll, I made sure that I had 1 left over to go through the top of the witch hat here for like the band that they usually have up there so that it'll match with the mesh and the ribbon that I have. And then we're going to take some of these pipe cleaners And we're going to cut them into smaller pieces here. One of these is going to yield you about 4 to 5 smaller pieces so that you can adhere your fabric to the witch's hat here. So I'm going to cut these. We just are using them to secure them here onto the witch's hat, so you don't need a whole lot. I would say about 3 or 4 inches here, and that's how we're going to secure it. All right, we've got our mesh, we've got our ribbon, we've got our pipe cleaners cut down here, and we've got our base. So what I planned on doing was taking one of the meshes here, and you literally just take it and pinch it up between your fingers here so that it kind of just makes like a little bow. And then I am going to take a second one and do the same thing, kind of just pinching it right through the middle there. And then I'm going to take one of the ribbons here and I'm just going to pinch it all together like so. And then you can take your little pipe cleaner then at that point, and you can bring it around to the back here, and you can, whoop, maybe I should have come just a little bit longer. Twist it just one time here. Is all you really need is one good little twist on there, and then you're going to secure it. If you look on the back here, there is an outline here, and we're going to secure it on the top and the bottom as we go, and then kind of fill it in, eyeball it to see how full you want it down at the bottom here with each of these little pipe cleaners. Actually, I probably shouldn't. I cut this one too short. It was the end of the one. So I'm going to untwist it a second so I can actually twist it onto the witch's hat. Through the little bars. Making it look more difficult than it really is. I promise you it's not that hard to do if you make them a little bit longer here. There we go. I tend to make them on the smaller side just so I don't have to go back through later and then cut them all down from the back. And so that makes it a little bit difficult sometimes. But you give it 2 or 3 little good twists there. And as you place them in here, you're going to fluff these out and fill it in, and then you won't even really be able to see the pipe cleaners down there in the center. Now I'm not going to do the ribbon with every single one, so the next one that I'm going to do, actually I'm going to gather and pinch the center of these mesh in here, and I'm going to do 3 of just the mesh by themselves, because I know I don't have enough of that ribbon to go with every single set. So I'm just pinching it right through the center, making it into like a little bow, grabbing a pipe cleaner, bringing it around to the back, and then feeding it through and then twisting it right down. Okay. We're going to go ahead and do that all the way around to the bottom here, and then we're going to come back and we're going to secure that ribbon through the center. Okay, so now that we've gone through and we've filled in the bottom here, this is my second time doing this particular wreath, and I ended up having some pieces that were left over from this grouping, because if you see here, most of my pieces ended up coming right in the center here in that ridge that was up on there, and it filled it out really nice. And so then I only had to come in and do just a couple little filler pieces on the very tippy top and on the bottom. So I actually ended up using less material than I thought I was going to for this one, because the first one I used all 3 rolls plus the ribbon. It still turned out just as full, and at the end here I will show you the first one that I did, and then this one here side by side. That one was more of a silver. I actually have it posted on the site, and I just love it. I love the gold and the black there with the little ribbons peeking through there. So now we're going to go ahead and create, I ended up, because I had extra pieces left, I'm going to take one that was a little bit longer and one that was a little bit shorter here. And I am going to put this down. I'm going to pinch the top part together here so that it kind of looks like the end of a ribbon here. And I'm going to take one of my leftover pieces that I have, and I'm going to just go ahead and add this in right now to my hat on the top here, because I know that I'm going to be placing that ribbon across the top here. So we're going to twist this a couple times to secure it. And I might have, of course I missed that piece, and I gotta undo it. Gotta make sure that that's pinched all together. So I like to take it and pinch, and then pinch it so that I can make sure that it's all together. Otherwise, you see what just happened. It kind of just came right out of my little secure here. Now you could take and just put a little dab of hot glue. I have the hot glue running so that I can put that banner across the top of it, but it probably will not be necessary. We're just gonna twist it around. I just take the whole thing and just twist it a couple times personally, so that it's gonna look like the end of the ribbon there. Then we're going to take that long piece that we saved, and we're going to just tuck it, and I cut it long enough, okay, that I can take the hot glue, and I should be able to put hot glue on each little end here and secure that down. And here is the finished project. Number 2. Super cute. I am loving all of the gold on this one. We did add a little pom-pom at the top with the leftover materials that I had.